Welcome to The Know, I'm Ashley Jenkins. Gears of War is finally bringing its unique brand of cover-based third-person shooting to the Xbox One next week, but there's a chance the series might not stay in the shooter genre forever, and in fact, a Gears of War game in another genre may already be in the works. Speaking at an Xbox Fan Fest in Australia this week, Xbox boss Phil Spencer and Coalition creative director Chuck Osieha were asked if Gears could appear as another genre, what would it be? After indicating they had to be careful how they answered the question, Spencer said, "Definitely when we got the team together and talked about the future of Gears of War, I think there's multiple ways that you can tell that story, multiple gameplay genres. As for what that genre might be, it's not too hard to picture both an RTS or a survival horror game working in the Gears of War universe. Just do us a favor and don't team up with Telltale Games, guys. That one's been a little bit played out, okay?" We still don't know much about CD Projekt RED's next game, Cyberpunk 2077, but we do know it's going to be their most ambitious game by far, which is saying something. A new technology grant applied for by the company was discovered this week, which makes it sound like Cyberpunk is going to be home to enormous living cities and seamless multiplayer without lobbies. CD Projekt filed for the grant with the Polish Game INN program, asking for free money to fund 4 separate new technologies: city creation, animation excellence, cinematic feel, and seamless multiplayer. As exciting as that is, it certainly doesn't sound too promising in terms of release dates. At the moment, all we know is that the game will be coming sometime between 2017 and 2021. Considering they're just now applying for grants for some of the core technology, let's just hope that the wait's not all the way until 2077. That's a new joke. No one's made that yet. Ready for your next dose of game industry hype? This week, Sony officially confirmed the date and location for their PlayStation Experience event, which they've been running for the past couple of years. 2016's PSX will be hitting the streets of Anaheim on December 3rd and 4th, hopefully dishing out tons of new announcements and looks at new games. For those who don't remember, the last 2 PSX events have been pretty enormous, bringing us things like the first footage for Uncharted 4, Street Fighter V, and gameplay for the Final Fantasy VII Remake. We've definitely got a wish list over here, but we'd love to see make an appearance at this year's showcase, including whatever the heck Naughty Dog is working on next. Maybe a first tease of Destiny 2 from Bungie, more footage from Resident Evil 7, hopefully not another delay for Last Guardian, the basics. AMC is getting their own real-life apocalyptic event in the form of a massive lawsuit from the former showrunner of The Walking Dead, Frank Darabont, who helmed the AMC's blockbuster TV hit for Season 1 and part of Season 2. He's reportedly set to sue the network for $280 million in damages. The lawsuit mostly concerns profit sharing, with Darabont claiming that AMC has engaged in some of that beloved Hollywood math to short him out of hundreds of millions that the show has made in licensing fees. He's also claiming that AMC stiffed him out of money owed to him for running much of Season 2, with AMC stating that he was only set to receive full payment if he stayed on through the end of the season. Darabont and the network had a pretty massive falling out during the show's second season, resulting in Darabont's dismissal and Glenn Mazzara taking over as lead. Considering Mazzara was then forced out by comic creator Robert Kirkman just a couple years later, that doesn't sound like a job anyone really keeps for long, so don't take it too hard, Darabont, although it is a juggernaut, which is always nice to be involved with while you can. Riding high from the huge hit of Wasteland 2, developers inXile have just announced the follow-up Wasteland 3, and they've also revealed that the next game in the series is getting full-fledged co-op. The press release sent out by inXile gives a few details about their next party-based post-apocalyptic RPG, namely that it will be coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and that it's set in frozen Colorado. According to the press release, players will now be able to upgrade and customize their ranger base, plus they'll be able to build their teams and embark on missions with friends via cooperative play. Once you've started a co-op game, you can continue it while your friend is offline, but apparently your choices may have consequences that affect your friend's team and what they've accomplished. inXile says that a big campaign for the game will be launching next week, where they hope to hit a goal of $2.75 million in funding. You'd think they wouldn't need that after the success of the last game, but we doubt anyone's gonna hesitate in throwing money at them, because hey, they've done a good job. The steady news drip from the DC Expanded Universe continues, and now we've got just a little bit more of a hint about when we'll be seeing the solo Batfleck movie. Time Warner CEO Jeff Bewkes said in a recent investor meeting that Batman's Lone Bat entry on the DC film slate is a year and a half out, indicating that it could be releasing sometime in the early part of 2018. However, it's possible that Bewkes was simply referring to when the film would start production. That's also totally possible. Back at Comic-Con, DC and Warner Brothers showed off a timeline of their upcoming superhero movies and had the Batman logo sandwiched right between The Flash and Cyborg, which are out in 2018 and 2019. Plus, the only other movie they have set for 2019 is Justice League Part 2. But at this point, who can even make heads or tails of what they're doing over there? They might decide to release Justice League Part 2 before Part 1 for all these crazy decisions they've been making so far. Would be on par. Are you prepared to die? Okay, maybe that's a kind of a heavy question to start a day off with, but you might want to answer it, because if you are, you might be the perfect candidate to go to Mars, according to SpaceX CEO Elon Musk. Musk and company this week finally unveiled their extremely ambitious plans to send people to colonize Mars. The journey involves carting 100 travelers at a time over the course of 80 days, although that could be as high as 150 depending on the year and the technology. To make things better for intrepid space explorers, Musk plans to have zero-G games, movies, and a restaurant aboard the spacecraft, but it won't be all interplanetary crews if you think you've got what it takes to help settle the red planet. Musk does have a little bit of a warning for you. Speaking at a Q&A session after the event, Musk told reporters, "The risk of fatality will be high. There's just no way around it. Are you prepared to die? If that's okay, then you're a candidate for going." Real talk. It's not much of a great sales pitch, but it's nice that Musk is at least being honest about the risks involved in colonizing a planet that can't really sustain life in its current state. But hey, there's a restaurant and like movie theaters and stuff. Worth it, right? That about does it for today's roundup. Let us know what you think of all these stories in the comments below. And for future updates from every corner of the internet, like this video and subscribe to The Know. I think Gus would risk dying in order to go to Mars and be away from people. I think the only thing that would upset him is that he would be around 100 people. On a spaceship, that's a lot.